Hi YouTube, Art here again with another audio video. In today's video, I've done it. I've got a new tune updated for Verdansk in Season 3 of Warzone. Before we get into all of that though, let's just talk about the audio in general and a couple notes that I've learned along the way. To begin with, it's gotta be said, this is the first non-terrible audio update that we've seen to Warzone since probably Caldera. As you'll see, they seem to have brought the audio back from BO6 closer to what we had in MW3, and some of the ways that they split up the audio and some of the ways that I'm able to kind of change things using 7.1 and the tune. The stock audio is not bad, but there is room for improvement. Your own gun and your own footsteps are still way too loud, and other enemy footsteps can use a boost as well. Also, it does seem like they brought back the OG down sounds, which are super satisfying, and the death's door effect when you're one shot and the screen starts to pulse and you hear like the blood in your ears, that sound effect is way less deafening. Before, it felt like it closed the whole world out around you. Right now, the only problem is when your operator inhales after regenning, it's a little loud still, but the rest of it is so much better. Parachutes too. Parachutes were much more clear, directional, and textured. They weren't just this loud soaring sound. I could very easily place where they were, how high they were, where they were coming down. Major improvement here. One of the big problems is how loud vehicles are when you're not in them. With the tune, at least, when you get in a vehicle, it's nice and quiet. When you get out of it, it is deafening, no matter the vehicle. LTV, Bertha, helicopter, it is just loud as all get out, and it stays spun up, the engine in that vehicle, for a very long time after anybody exits it. And I think it's linked to this problem that was shown to me by Smitty on Twitter. He said, hey, fun fact, the audio menu in-game doesn't work at all. Bass, boost, Treyarch mix, all of them the same. I checked it and it's true. None of the audio mixes are working or changing the audio, at least on Battle.net. I can't speak to other platforms because I didn't test it. It seems like maybe the final pass in the audio system where the audio mix is applied isn't applied correctly on Battle.net. Like maybe there's a couple loose ends in the code that aren't tied up. Hopefully this video brings attention to it and they can get a patch out in the coming weeks and days. As I mentioned before, the audio engine has shifted back more to the style from MW3, which means I can achieve a lot more with HeSuVi during this tune, but there's also some collateral damage that comes along with it. These are questions that I get all the time, so I just wanted to address them really quick. Streaks, they're gonna stay loud. In my theory crafting, you can't really suppress loud sounds and not expect to lose some audio cues. So hearing each subtle audio cue, even if it means things stay loud, is very important to me. It also means that distance gunshots are going to sound a lot closer and a lot louder. It's good info. It can be a little bit overwhelming at times, but give it a couple days and you will get used to it. Another thing that's going to get louder with the tune are loot chests. Because they've moved away from that glowing, shimmering sound with MW2 Warzone back to this kind of hum, rumble that was for MW19 Warzone, those frequencies are where footsteps are as well. So those are going to be lifted. Loudness EQ in general, which is on Art Tune, lifts quiet things up, and the chests are going to come with it. One nice feature that they have added though, they mentioned in the blog verticality, and it seems like it does check out. When you are moving down or up in relation to a chest somewhere in a building, the tonality will change. If it's above you, it's a higher pitch. If it's below you, it's a lower pitch. And as you come to the same level, you can hear the tone of the chest normalized. You'll see that in some of the clips that I show at the end. The other thing that this seems to apply to are footsteps. It does seem like there is a bit of a tonality shift when you're hearing people run from above to below you, or clearly running below you. Below is a little bit bassier, a little bit thumpier, a little less clear. Above tends to have a higher pitch to it and a lot more thin sounding. So it does seem like they're trying to apply some system to verticality, and with my limited playtime, it does seem to be working. In order to follow this guide, you will have had to complete my original BO6 audio guide, which I'll link down in the description below. If you haven't done the Season 1.5 Reloaded, you don't have to worry about it. If you're as up to date as you can be on the tune, you can also start here. All you need is that main guide installed, and then all of this guide will make sense. Before we dive into the process, I did want to just remind y'all, I do offer one-on-one appointments to set all this up for you. If you just don't have the time, you're not the most tech savvy, or you don't want to mess with it, you can book an appointment, link down in the description with me. I will remote into your PC. You'll also gain access to the client side of my Discord, where I provide ongoing support and troubleshooting. The first step is to go to the description and download the zip file I've linked that has all the configuration files for today's tweaks. It's titled AIW_S3_Verdansk update. Unzip it and you'll be presented with folders like this. The first thing we're going to do is open folder number 1 called New Target. In here, you'll find two things. There is the ArtIsWar_Warzone target Season 3. This could change in the future as they change the audio, but for now, this is the target we're to use. It's more aimed at Warzone than BO6, and it's some of the notes that I've taken over playing the first 2 seasons, how we can improve footsteps. Second, we have a hyperlink directly to Gadgetry Tech Squig link, where all the measurements for IEMs and headphones are stored. Shout out again to Joe at Gadgetry Tech for letting us use this. Here, you would just search for your headphones, the orchestra lights. He has measurements for orchestra lights here. You could search for the arités, which are two of my favorite. He has a measurement for the arités here. But let's say, for example, you have the #1 IEM on my tier list, which will be linked down in the description below, which I'm currently wearing, which are the T Pros. So if I search for T Pro here, you'll see on Gadget Detect's measurements, he does not have them. This happens a lot with certain headphones. He just won't have measurements for all of them, but don't worry, there are plenty of other people that have measurements as well. The best one to use if you can, if that IEM exists for that, is Super Review. His measurement style is as close to Gadget Detect's as we can get. If not, Hawaii Bad Boy is a great option. Paul Wasabi is a great option. Vortex is a great option, as well as Hangout Audio. All of those places will measure IEMs with great accuracy, and they have high quality measurements, so just go ahead and use one of those. I'm personally going to go down to Vortex and choose the Mangrid T Pros. It's going to open a new window. Whether you're on somebody else's squig links or still on Gadget Detect's, the steps are going to be the same. You're going to choose Equalizer and then click Upload Target. So if I go back to Vortex, who has my T Pro measurements, I'm going to go to Equalizer and I'm going to pick Upload Target. You'll want to navigate to that download that we did with all the configs in it, and we're going to go to that #1 new target folder. We're going to select ArtIsWar Warzone Target Season 3. We're going to click Open, and you'll see this dotted line appear. This is going to work just like the old Black Ops 6 target that was included on Gadget Detect's website right down here, but it's just a little bit more specified for Warzone and a little bit more specified for Footsteps. Once you have the target uploaded, the dotted line here, and you have the solid line with the profile for your IEMs, you'll want to come over to this side here and you'll look for a button called Auto EQ. You'll click that, it will process, and it will present to you a new line. Now that we have that combo EQ, we want to download that. We'll go over here, we'll click Export. There's two different ones, and this will be labeled something different on everybody's different squig link, but you're looking for Export Parametric EQ or just the regular export. And you'll just want to name it something like ArtIsWar _ Mangrid T Pro filters, so your headphone name, but we'll replace filters with Warzone 2025. Something to denote that it is the new target. You could even call it Warzone Season 3 target if you want. Once that's done, you'll hit save. I made it super easy and dragged the file that we just downloaded over to the new target folder in the package that we're working with. The next thing you'll want to do is open Peace. And in Peace, ignore this long list of headphones. I test a lot of stuff. We're going to choose the ArtIsWar BO6 VST base one more time. We don't need to change this. The VST base will stay the same. What we will do is we will click Import. You'll want to navigate to where that file we just downloaded from SquigLink is. In my case, I moved it to that new target folder. You'll click it, you'll click Open, and when you get this prompt, replace current equalization, yes, replace, no, add filters, we want to click no because we want to add the EQ to the settings that already exist on this base. Once that's done, you'll come up to preamplifying, you'll set that to 0, you'll hit Enter, and then you'll hit the Save button. It'll prompt you to make a name for the profile. I'm just going to keep the profile name that I made that file, so it's ArtIsWar _ Mangrid T Pro Warzone 2025. We'll click Save, and before we close this, you'll just want to make sure that that preset is loaded. So you can see here in blue in the bottom left, ArtIsWar Mangrid T Pro Warzone 2025 is selected, and in the title up here, it is also the correct profile. Once you have that profile saved and the preamp zeroed out, we can close Peace. Next, we're going to go to the second folder, the additional config item. In here, you'll find two items. One is a shortcut to exactly where you need to put this file. So we'll right click and we'll open a new window, and it takes us into this directory here, which if it doesn't work for you, it's your local drive program files, equalizer APO config. And all you'll want to do is either copy and paste this or drag it over to that config folder. Once you've copied or dragged it over, you can close this window. Now that we put that text file in the config folder, we'll need to open Equalizer APO Configuration Editor to do some work with it. You can find it in your apps menu, Equalizer APO Configuration Editor, or you can just simply search for it in the bottom, Equalizer APO Configuration Editor. You'll open it, you'll be presented with this error. It's not an error, you can just click no on it. And yours should look like this if you followed the original guide correctly. You have HeSuVi up the top, and you have Peace below that. What we're going to want to do is we're going to click this little plus sign, we'll go to Control, and we'll click Include. We'll drag this box all the way up to the top, so it goes blank include HeSuVi Peace text. We'll click the little blue folder next to it, and in the config folder, we're going to want to find Precompressor. We'll hit Open, and you'll see Precompressor fill in the blank there. Next, we're going to go to the blue Open folder at the top here. We'll open the Precompressor again, This is the text file that we just dragged in. You'll want to go to the second item here, this VST plugin, hit open, and at the very, very bottom, you'll want to hit apply automatically, apply, and OK. Once that's done, you can save up here at the top, and you can close this window. And once this looks like this, pre-compressor HeSuVi piece, you can save and close Equalizer APO. Lastly, we're gonna go to step 3, which is the HeSuVi profile. We'll open that folder. Again, in here, there is a shortcut. We'll right-click it and open folder in new window, and it will take you to this address, which if the shortcut doesn't work for you, is program files, Equalizer APO, config, HeSuVi profile. And what we'll wanna do is we will drag that profile in here. I already have it, so I'll hit replace. I also have the old tune, which is the BO6 Warzone PC, and the BO6 Warzone PS5. Once that is in, what we'll want to do is we'll want to open HeSuVi, and you'll want to go to the additional tab, select the ArtIsWar Warzone Season 3 profile, and click load. If for some reason the profile doesn't work for you, or you just don't feel like following the profile steps, this is what it needs to look like. We are going back to Atmos minus, and as you can see in the bottom, a lot of the channels in HeSuVi have changed. They seem to have changed the spread of how sounds are spread out across each channel. Now, your own gunshots, your own footsteps are kind of also on the center channel as well as the front channel. The announcer, the celebration sounds when you get the placards above, or when you open a crate and it goes, all that's kind of on the center channel. So rocking that super low at 10, I found to be really clarifying to the audio mix. And the front channel I've left at 30. This also lowers your gunshots and lowers your own footsteps. This I think is the bottom floor, and I've given it to a lot of creators, a lot of sweats to test, and all of them have really, really liked it. I would recommend starting with these settings and trying these for a couple days to a week at least. It's gonna take you a little while to get used to. If you need to and you want to, you can always increase the front and center channel. I would leave the center channel lower than the front channel overall. It's all gonna be personal taste. The last thing we wanna double check are some in-game settings. So we'll go into Warzone here. We'll go to our settings and we'll go to audio. You'll always want to make sure that the game is set to art tune. For me, that is not the hi-fi cable because I have opted to use the GC7 DAC, which has a device on it that's configurable as the surround sound device. I have a video on that that'll link down in the description below. It's a great little device. I use it because I'm dual PC. If you're to plug a bunch of different kind of headphones into a DAC and you want something that's a little higher quality, the Sound Blaster G8, which I'll also link down in the description below, can be replaced in that original DAC guide. You can use either one. They work exactly the same. The G8's just gonna have a cleaner output for IEM. So I'm dual PC. I don't plug my headphones into the GC7. The GC7 sends audio to my Go XLR. So I just use that one. We'll make sure it's on art tune. You want to make sure it's on 7.1 surround, enhanced headphone mode off. The audio mixes, like I said, they don't matter because they're not changing anything. The other important thing, because we have that center channel so low, I used to advise putting the dialogue volume really low, somewhere under 30. You'll want to crank that so you can hear the announcer at all because he will be very, very quiet. I've raised mine to 100 and he's still super quiet. Then in the voice chat menu, you'll want to make sure that your voice chat device is not art tune because you want to hear people in game without the tune applied. Like I said, I'm using that Sound Blaster, so it has a second device on it that has no tune applied. That's default audio. I'll use that. And then down here for the microphone device, you'll want to select whatever your microphone is. The tune does not affect your mic whatsoever. And that's it. If you've done it correctly, your gun should be super quiet. Here in a moment after the conclusion, I'm going to show y'all some gameplay that I've captured over the last couple days that kind of exhibits what the tune should sound like and how powerful it can be. This guide is pretty simple if you've already followed the original BO6 audio guide. Now, all of this is subject to change. Like I mentioned, those audio mixes not working in game has me a little worried that things aren't finished and things might change with an update in the future. But make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you know when I upload that video updating y'all. Like all of the other tunes I've done, unless there are some major audio system changes, which I don't foresee happening since they did make this major shift from BO6 now to Verdansk. If there are major changes, then I will provide a new guide. But from here on out, as they update, tweak, and polish audio, the tune should only get better with time. I may introduce a new target in the future that works a little bit better. Like and subscribe, click the bell so you know when I upload those update videos. I'm really happy with how this tune turned out. The updates worked great and all the experimentation really paid off. All of the feedback that I've gotten from some of the competitors and content creators that have been testing it has been stellar. Like I mentioned down below are links to one-on-one appointments with me to set up the audio for you, the tier list for IEMs, which is constantly updated with IEMs that I review. It's a great place to get a high value IEM set that is definitely going to blow that crappy gamer headset that you have out of the water. I also live stream quite a bit. I go live here on YouTube sometimes, but mostly I'm live over on Twitch, twitch.tv/art_is_war. After this video goes live about 5:30 p.m. EST, I will be live doing a Q&A going over any questions that you might have. We usually do it for about 2 2 hours, and then we hop into some games. I've been having a ton of fun playing. I'm gonna leave y'all with some gameplay samples so you know what the tune sounds like. Until the next video, which is probably gonna be a headphone review, I'll catch y'all later. Peace.
Identified. Weapons free. Dimmed up.
There's 2 guys on the roof, but I have a pistol.
Oh, sniper on the plane. Coming down.
Gas inbound.
Are you running the tune? Are you dual or single PC? Oh my god. Oh my god.